What's up, everybody? I'm back again, and this time we're going to the Nacrene City Gym, which is in the north end of Nacrene City. The first person you'll meet here is this guy, who turns out to be Lenora's husband. And Lenora, for anybody who doesn't know, is the gym leader in this area. And there you can see a Dragonite skeleton and a Meteorite, and after this quick tour, he shows you to the second floor, which is the actual gym. So we should be walking through here now. And this gym is it's kind of like a puzzle focused on reading books in each bookshelf to determine what bookshelf you need to go to next for the next clue. So Clyde here gives you a fresh water like he usually does. And we are going to be off to, first, this trainer who wants to battle us. It is School Kid Carter, who has a level 17 Pat Rat. And by this time we've seen plenty of Pat Rats, so it's not really a big deal. My Panpour should be able to take it out pretty easily. There it uses Bide, which is always like a, crazy move that you don't necessarily know if you're going to luck out and knock them out, or if you're going to kind of get screwed over and have a shitload of damage put on you. But I took it out pretty easily. And this I'm not really going to get too far into the actual puzzle of this, but essentially you go to the first left bookshelf, the middle left bookshelf, and then the top left bookshelf, and then after that you go to the bottom right bookshelf, I believe, and then the middle right bookshelf, and I think that's it. But right as you're reading this clue, you can see up at the top that scientist at the next bookshelf turned around. That means you have to go talk to her and battle her. And this is scientist Satomi, and she has a Herdier level 17, which is the first Herdier you get to see in the game, and the first one you get to battle. Unless, of course, you caught a Lillipup and have trained it to this point. But I don't think this Herdier uses this tactic, but pretty much every Herdier other than this one in the entire game uses Takedown as its main form of attack. And typically it does a hell of a lot of damage. And mainly because Takedown is a really powerful attack, but on the opposite side of that, it causes recoil to the user, so although they'll do a lot of damage to you, they'll also take a little bit of damage themselves. But it looks like this one's using Tackle and Bite or Crunch, so it's kind of a little bit different than most Herdier throughout the game, but perhaps Herdier doesn't learn Takedown by this point. I should probably know that, but oh well. After it takes out my Panpour, I'm pretty sure my Servine takes it out pretty easily. And even though in Pinwheel Forest or Outer Pinwheel Forest I caught a Timber for the sole purpose of using it for the Nacrene City Gym, it turns out that I don't really even need it, because my Servine, using a combination of like opening up with Growth and then using Leech Seed and then finishing them off with Mega Drain, that seems to be an awesome combo for this gym, and yeah, mainly throughout the entire game actually. But anyway, there we read the book at that bookshelf, and now we are going back to the bottom right one to read it. And after this, we are going to move up to the middle bookshelf in this column. And we're going to talk to the little school kid you see there. And she is going to have 3 Lillipups, and all of them are level 15, so they're, fairly low level, but at the same time she has 3 of them, so it makes sense. But yeah, again, this shouldn't be terribly difficult. And from a gameplay or from a game design perspective, it's it's really intelligent for Game Freak to put these fairly easy Pokemon to take out before the actual gym battle, just because, you know, it gives anybody an opportunity who hasn't actually done everything in the game up to this point to kind of get their Pokemon up to where they should be. So if, for example, you skipped Outer Pinwheel Forest or haven't even ventured over there and you don't know it exists yet, then this is a, you know, a good way to prevent some frustration. So anyway, now that we've beaten her, we just need to read this final bookshelf, and then all of a sudden it should start moving off to the right. And the books on top kind of jitter around and fall, which is a nice touch. And it reveals a staircase. And, of course, at the end of that staircase is Lenora. And that quick little cut there was me going back to heal all of my Pokemon. Which, most likely, unless you have, like, completely overpowered Pokemon that you traded for, or you're only, like, using one Pokemon, you should probably do that. And also, it doesn't hurt to save either. But, so here's Lenora. First off, she sends her Herdier, who actually does have Takedown instead of Tackle. And her second Pokemon is a Watchog, which I think is the first in the game as well. So, what I was talking about earlier with Herdier and Takedown goes into effect here. It does a lot of damage. I think if this Herdier were to do Takedown, which, let's see, it does it right now, how much damage does it do? It pretty much took out like a third of my health just from one attack. And a lot of times it'll even do more. But my Servine has like 2 levels on it, so that's probably one reason why. But, and yeah, there again, it's like 3 attacks and my Servine's going to be completely done. So I think next I use a Fresh Water, the fresh water that I got from Clyde earlier in the gym. And from there, now I'm all set up with Growth and Leech Seed, which enables me to just kind of use Mega Drain. And I think with the combination of Mega Drain and the HP that I get back from it, and the HP that I get back from Leech Seed, it counteracts the amount of damage that Herdier does from Takedown. So, or at the very least, it kind of prevents it from doing so much damage. So it wouldn't even be possible for Herdier to take me out in that time then. Oh yeah, and actually, the main thing about this battle is the new move that Lenora brings to the table is called Retaliate. And Retaliate is a move which explains why I'm switching to my level 5 Purloin right now. Retaliate is a move that if... Let me put it this way. If, let's say I just knocked out Herdier, if I kept my Servine out and she sent out Watchog and it used Retaliate, its base power would be 140. And Retaliate's normal base power is 70. So essentially, if I were to use Retaliate, it would do double the damage if one of my Pokemon got knocked out the turn before. So, for example, if I use Retaliate with my Servine right now, it would do double the damage. But, unfortunately, I don't have the TM yet, which will be will be rewarded after the battle, which is TM 67 Retaliate. But I tried to do the same exact tactic this time around too. I set up with Leech Seed, and since I already have Growth, I don't need to use that right now. But just continuously using Leech Seed and Mega Drain is a really good combo when you're not facing real people, because typically when you go like online, for example, over you know, the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, using Leech Seed doesn't really work because people just switch out, and it's really not that great of a tactic unless you find yourself in like a one-on-one situation where everybody else's Pokemon is, you know, knocked out and so are yours. But anyway, we finish off Lenora there, and she rewards us with the basic badge. And along with that, we also get TM67 Retaliate, which is, it's a very specific scenario in which Retaliate works well, so it's kind of a difficult move to suggest to use, but if you like using it, by all means go ahead. And then now, after this is all said and done, her husband comes up and says that something bad is happening. So we need to go back into the museum portion of the building, which I will hopefully do now. There we go. And soon enough we'll find out that Team Plasma is doing something bad, which isn't really terribly surprising. But here we see they're all huddled. I'm having such a fucking problem speaking today. Anyway, they're all huddled around the Dragonite skeleton, and after some dust kind of starts being blown around, and then they disappear, you notice that the skull is gone. And actually, in the game, they don't ever refer to it as a Dragonite skull, they just call it a dragon skull, but I don't know why they did that. Maybe some sort of translation issue where they didn't really notice, like, oh, that's a Dragonite skull. But anyway, so now just walk outside, and here we will meet right there, the gym leader of Castelia City, which is the next city after Pinwheel Forest and Sky Arrow Bridge. So that's Berg, and he specializes in bug Pokemon. And essentially he says, yeah, sure, I'll help out in finding this Dragon Skull. So Charon and Bianca are here, and I don't think they really volunteer to help at all, but at the end of all of this, the next area that we get to go to is Pinwheel Forest. And now that Team Plasma has what they want, which is the Dragon Skull, that, line of Team Plasma members that was formerly blocking our way to get really into Pinwheel Forest is gone now, so we can actually just go right in. So after I heal my Pokemon real quick from the gym battle, I'm going to head into Pinwheel Forest proper, and I'll see you there.